let's do the opening link and then we welcome him.
We are about to start with our program. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start with our program. Can we kindly please settle down?
Whilst we are settling down, ladies and gentlemen, allow me the opportunity to call to the stage Mr. Moshe Moitoi to just explain some of the safety measures of the venue. Mr. Moshe, stand.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to welcome you to our new Hunter's Rest. Our safety briefing will be starting on the fire side off. We do have alarm detectors within the venue, but they have been deactivated due to the reason of some of the musical instrument, which they do smoke out, and once it does that, then it detects the fire. So we have deactivated that. And in terms of emergencies, all our doors has got the signs, which are right behind us. We do have two sets of door. There's the one that we are in, and there's another one which of it's in the corridor. So in terms of emergency, we can exit from the back into the grass, and we would walk right to our right onto the front of the restaurant or the venue. From the other side, all the doors as well, they've got all their exit signs, which we walk out of that, turn to our left, and we will be assembling onto the left side of the venue or the restaurant. In terms of ladies and gents, behind us, there's exit doors. As you go out of the venue, on your left-hand side, there's ladies, and on the right side, there's gents. Down the passage, as you're going towards the reception, there's a first door where you'd see it says staff only. You don't use that. The second door on your right, there's where there are ladies and gents there as well. Within the house, we do have first aiders, which they are level 1 first aiders. And we do have fire marshals as well, which in terms of any emergency, you would be directed through by them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. We will kick off our day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the Northwest University 2025 Media and Organisational Citizenship Behaviour Recognition Awards. A mouthful, I must say.
Tuso, I'm happy that you opened with that, because I would have just went, welcome to the NWU Media and Ocean Basket Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I think tonight is more than just a celebration of excellence.
Definitely.
It's a celebration of pride, but more so recognition. And we are absolutely pleasured to be here with you tonight, eh, Tuso?
We are. And just to emphasize, this evening we are here to promote, to celebrate and reward pure excellence in terms of both our staff and students, showing their continuous collaboration and making sure that they speak to the values of the Northwest University. We are here to acknowledge those actions and those acts that support the Northwest University strategy and those true classic ambassadors of the Northwest University.
So we've been practicing the whole day for this beautiful English.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think tonight we are not only just celebrating the ambassadors, the storytellers and the change agents of the university, but we are celebrating and recognizing those who continue to shape and inspire the legacy of the Northwest University. Now, it is important to note that our recognition stems across the whole spectrum of the Northwest University.
Yeah.
We have recognized staff members and students from our Potchefstroom, Vanderbijlpark and our Maikang campus and our distance learning environment. And I think this is a true testament to show that our greatness goes beyond boundaries.
And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, as you check on your tables, there is a scanner where our social media platforms will be filled with your experience of the evening. Every 30 minutes of the event, there will be uploads of pictures so that you can use on all our social media platforms using the hashtag
Live at NWU.
So
they said we should make it very clear no one leaves this room tonight without a post on social media with the hashtag
Live at NWU.
So Prof. Chobeka, please make sure that we see something.
yes, you want to share your experience in the wonderful evening of celebration.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome formally our dignitaries and our special guests for the evening. We have our Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Mzbanzi Bismarck Chobeka, our Deputy Chairperson of Council, Ms. Renee Kenosi, our Vice Principal and Deputy Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning, Professor Lindiwe Duplessis, members of the Executive and Senior Management, as well as all of our award recipients, both students and staff. Not forgetting our online audience who's watching us from the comfort of their homes and also partaking in our recognitions tonight. Please feel welcomed and do enjoy the evening with us, ladies and gentlemen.
To kick off the show, we'll welcome our talented students, Yandisa Ntusi and Tusi.
Yeah, thank you so much.
A very good evening. My name is Yandisa Ntusi. I'm a fourth-year student at NWU Mahikeng campus under humanities, and I'm studying linguistics. This is Tusi Mabula, and he is a pianist and a music director. We're going to give you guys a very short performance. Pardon me, I'm quite nervous. And I'm going to be singing Listen by Beyonce. I hope you enjoy. The song here in my heart, a melody I start but can't complete. Listen to the song from deep within. It's only beginning to find I am alone at the cross.
Thank you so much to Yandisa and Tuli. You know, sometimes God gives certain people certain talents. I could see Dr. Mandre in front being transported to a new reality. Thank you so much for that wonderful rendition of Beyonce's Listen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving over to the more formal proceedings of the program, allow me to welcome on stage someone who continues to shape the voice of Northwest University, someone who continues to shape the story of our university from the front lines. Mr. Louis, or as I call him, Louis Jacobs. Let's put a round of applause together for him as he comes to stage.
Thank you, Jason. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again tonight at this special event of ours. Tonight marks a very special date on our university's calendar, one I hold specifically very dearly. During my almost 17 years at the Northwest University as a staff member, not even to mention my time as a student here, I have seen the NWU expand its reach and influence more than I could ever have imagined. Our university does not end at Albert Luthuli Street in Mahikeng, or Hoffman Street in Potchefstroom, or Hendrik van Eck Boulevard in Vanderbouw Park. No, our university lives in the hearts of our students, our staff, and our alumni across the globe, and in all of those whose lives we impact through our research, our teaching and learning, as well as our community engagement initiatives. Let me share something with you. Those who know me well know that I'm a bit of an amateur chef. And for a dish to work, you need an element that brings all the flavors together. The secret sauce that makes the NWU more than just a university, but a community that cares, is our values. The NWU way is one of caring and inclusivity, of embracing diversity, of transparency, of excellence and ethics in all endeavors, responsibility and accountability, as well as academic freedom and freedom of research. It is a mouthful, but doesn't it just taste sublime? These values continue to form the compass that guides our actions, the rhythm to which we march, and the melody that harmonizes our diverse voices. They are what transforms what we do daily into a shared journey towards greatness. And speaking of journeys, tonight we celebrate individuals who didn't just talk the talk, but walked the walk actually. People who use new and old media platforms to instigate positive change, to inform, to tell stories that unite us. Tonight's winners serve as a reminder that our values should not be measured by single, once-off gestures, but by consistency in our everyday actions that reflect who we are. Our values also influence the university's brand in profound ways. They shape how we teach, how we learn, how we interact, and how we impact the world. When we embody these values, we don't just enhance the NWU's reputation, we inspire trust, foster collaboration, and ignite innovation. So let's all keep cooking. Let's continue to be the embodiment of the NWU's values, not because we have to, but because we believe in what they stand for. Let's be the reason someone feels welcomed, supported, and inspired. Thank you, and my compliments to all of the chefs with which we surrounded with tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Louis, for that. I think it's very important for all of us that you have reminded us of the contribution that we all make. The brand, the Northwest University, is all of us, and all of us contribute to it brick by brick. Thank you very much, Mr. Louis, for that. And on to the next, we'll just request with a round of applause, welcome Mr. Melton Nyamandamandozo. That's his shares, as his shares, the foundation at which our organization is built on. The foundation at the Northwest University values and all the attributes of the Northwest University.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to the Masters of Ceremonies. Just a point of correction, my surname is Nyama Zao. Yes, but I think more often than not, colleagues in this institution prefer to call me Mr. Milton. I'm also good with that as well. But let's get down to the business. So I think it's important for me just to share with you that when I joined Northwest University, one of the things that caught my attention, I think in the first or second week, was the transformation journey. And it reminded me of my days when I was a student leader at the University of Zambia, popularly known as UNZA. And the students then, they were given laptops, and these laptops were donated from China. And the students decided to go on a demonstration. And the then president, the late Frederica Chiluba, he was called the political engineer. He decided to come to the campus himself. So he came to the campus, and then obviously, according to protocol, you have to do a briefing with the president first. So as the student leaders were called in to do a briefing with him, and we went into the briefing, and then the first thing that he asked is, why are the students on this demonstration? And I told him that the students have got the laptops, but the laptops came without a mouse. And then he said to me, don't you know something called transformation? And I didn't even know about it at that time. And then he said to me, go and catch the mouse. You see. So it occurred to me that maybe at that point, he also didn't even know what a mouse was all about. But anyway, so when I joined here, and the first task that I was given was to look at coming up with the transformation journey by Professor Mala. And it constantly reminded me of the late President Chiluba talking to me about transformation. And I am standing here today, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to talk to you about the importance of our values to this institution. Values are the invisible infrastructure for our institution. What do I mean by this? If any one of us, be it a student, be it a staff member, are to write an email and say, I am admitting, excuse me, to this mistake, this was my error, and I take full responsibility. That is what we call integrity. And that value on its own is what we are trying to build, those invisible infrastructures that our institution is being scaffolding on. And today, we are indeed celebrating the winners. But what I must say to you is that there are a lot of us, students and staff, who are not here today. It's also an opportunity for us to celebrate them. Ourselves, as an institution, we have come up with this idea that everyone at Northwest University is a leader. Leadership without an ego. Leadership where everyone is doing their part, even silently, without even being noticed. And most of us, we don't have this opportunity to be heard. And this institution is saying, no, we want to amplify the voices of the students and the staff who are not being heard. We therefore implemented or administered a culture survey. And in this culture survey, the rationale was us to be able to amplify the voices of the voiceless. And what came out from the culture survey that was administered were results that did not surprise us, because we knew the journey that we had walked in our transformation endeavor. Some of the results, as I've already alluded to, they were good, of which we have to be proud of. But we must now look at how we can consolidate on those gains. However, there were also some results that we also failed, that these were areas that we needed to improve, so that we would continuously entrench the values that we aspire as an institution, the values of inclusivity, so that each one of us can be heard. We want to entrench an institution where everyone has got a voice, where you can, at any point in time, be able to stop the Vice-Chancellor and speak with the Vice-Chancellor without any fear. These are the values that we are trying to entrench. This is what is being epitomized by even the town halls that the VC is currently embarking on. He felt that is what it was important for him to be actually where the action is, at the campuses where the action is. And this is what you are actually witnessing. And the VC is being challenged by some of the questions that our staff and students are posing. And this is exactly what we want to build as an institution. So, once we had analyzed the results, and we got very good results in some areas, and some areas where we felt, no, we need to improve in these particular areas, we have moved from insight to impact. Wherein now, we have come up with a culture intervention framework, wherein all our campuses and divisions have been given an opportunity now to look at their faculty or divisional nuances and to build on areas where there are areas of growth, appreciating all the voices of the voiceless, giving them an opportunity to speak. And this is what we are entrenching. We are not ending there. Once these faculty contexts have been surfaced out, we will also be able now to report on progress from all those faculties and divisions. The idea is for us to continuously entrench the values of Northwest University. And we are doing this together with our students and our staff. That is why Kofi Annan once said that this is now an opportunity for us to build the United Nations of Africa, but we can only do it if we are united. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Melton, and apologies for mispronouncing your surname. But your words have really reminded us of the importance of unity, the importance of self-reflection, and the transformative importance that each and every one of us have to live out the Northwest University values. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we shift the gears. Sichencha amagia. And it is with so much power and privilege to introduce our guest speaker this evening. Just a brief background of who he is. He is a well-renowned keynote speaker, author, and organizational facilitator. With a wealth of experience and insight, he has delivered on different international conferences, particularly across Europe, Middle Africa, Africa, and the Middle East. He has been introduced to both introduced to the Southern African Speaker Wall of Fame, as well as the Southern African Educator Wall of Fame. A testament of not only his impact, but also his credibility. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, can we all welcome on stage Siphiwe Moyo.
Thank you very much. That was the most mediocre clap I've ever heard in my entire life. So we're gonna try this again. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Siphiwe Moyo. I'm joking. Thank you very much. I'm joking. When you make jokes like this, you get under pressure. Now you have to perform and deliver. So I just want to greet our Principal and Vice Chancellor, Prof. Bismarck Kyobeka, our Deputy Chairperson of Council, Renee Kinosi, the Member of Council, I think it's Ariti Bretz, Vice Principal and DVC of Teaching and Learning, Prof. Linda Duplessis, members of Executive and Senior Management, the award recipients, NWU staff and students and guests, and if it was government, we would say all protocol observed. My chat today is about a topic that I've entitled, you know what, I can't do. Do you guys have a handheld mic, please? If you can. My topic is making civility everyone's business, harnessing the power of social media to build positive organizational ambassadorship. That's such a long topic, I've even forgotten it. So don't worry. Thank you so much. You can switch this one off. Thank you, much appreciated. So I want to talk about just workplace civility and how that drives our values and drives organizational citizenship behavior. My daughter, who is 16-year-old now, when she was about 8 or 9, she used to do this very cute thing. Every time she would drop a plate or a glass, she would be the one who screams, "Dad, don't worry, I'm okay. And every time she does that, I'll be like, don't try and trick me, baby. What about my glass and what about my plate? But I think what she was doing, she was inadvertently reminding me every time she does that to think very carefully about what is important at that time, the class or her well-being. And isn't it interesting that when our colleagues drop a ball every now and then, what is our response? What is our response? What is the kind of culture that we want to create? And I'm not saying it's a soft culture, but civility is such an interesting concept. It's not about being nice all the time, but it's about even having teams where we balance both care and candor, where we have teams where we can have good conversations, but we can have them with care. Avoiding two extremes. I think there are teams who do not get this right, who, you know, when you have a culture where everybody is just, where there's artificial harmony, man. I don't know if you've ever had artificial harmony in a team. When we're in a meeting, everybody just go, and then after the meeting, they were like, what the hell was that? I think we don't want that culture, right? We still want a culture where people can get feedback, otherwise we're not going to grow. But on the other extreme, we also have teams that are too aggressive. And I think that's not helpful either. On the other extreme, you have teams that are like, you know, they're brutal, man. It's like girls from Soweto. It's like... No, don't argue with me. I've dated girls from Soweto. Have you? You know, when we were growing up in Soweto, girls from Soweto were brutal, man. When you wanted to ask other girls out from other places, when you asked them out and they didn't want you, they gave you these very nice, palatable responses. They're like, I already have someone, or I see you like a brother. All those things are nice, man. They're doable. But girls from Soweto went for the jugular. When they didn't like you, they said, look at yourself. Do you understand how damaging that look at yourself is? Because it's 30 years later and we are trying to address the OCB awards and you hear Sbongile here saying, look at yourself. And you lose confidence, right? But I think a great workplace is one where we're in between. We neither have artificial harmony, nor are we aggressive and personal in our responses. Where feedback is depersonalized, but we have feedback anyway. So as we think about workplace civility, it's very important to understand that it's not really about only being nice. It's about creating an environment where people want to be, and they want to show up, they want to speak out, and they want to accelerate. I think there is a culture that is able to unleash great performance, and the culture where people dim their lights because they are not sure what's going on. So when you imagine this with me, I don't know how many of us know cricket, but it was the 16th of January 2018 when most of us were introduced to some guy called Lungingiti. He was playing his Test cricket debut for South Africa against India, and he scored these amazing, amazing figures, like 6 for 39. And I know people who don't know cricket are like, is that good or bad? But we're at the awards, so even when we say things that you don't know, you must just nod, didn't you? Pretend you know. So I'm gonna hoy that line again, and then you're gonna pretend that you know. Use whatever in your context. It's either cho, or wow, or yo. I wanna see diversity in the room, so I'm gonna repeat it. So he scores these amazing figures like 6 for 39. There was no, oh my gosh. I think we're too old here. But what I'm interested in is what happens the next day. The next day, a few South African newspapers carry a front page story that said, a star was born for South Africa yesterday. His name is Lungingiti. But I want to argue that a star was not born on that day. A star was revealed on that day. And I think, thanks for that one clap, Shem. I think that Lungingiti had always known he was a star. When you're bowling at 140 kilometers per hour, you know you are a star. But it matters the environment that you find yourself in, because some environments can let you shine and flourish, and some, they allow you to diminish your light. And I argue that in most places, people don't disengage because of heavy workloads. They disengage because they feel disrespected, dismissed, and unseen. Workload we can deal with. Workload is fine. We're used to working hard, guys. Workload is fine, but when the relationships are not nice, hey, that thing eats at you, man. When the relationships are not nice, on Sunday evening, when you think about work, when you hear that music from Carte Blanche, or Our Perfect Wedding on 161, depending on your level, Carte Blanche for us, OPW for you. But when you hear either of those shows, if the environment is not okay, you are like, you start feeling physically sick. So it really matters how civil we are to one another. I argue that civility is the oxygen of organizational citizenship. You don't notice it when it's there, but take it away and everything suffocates. It's respect. It's about feeling seen. It's about being acknowledged. It's about when you are giving feedback, the feedback is more based on the content, on the behavior, and the impact of the behavior, and less on yourself. So I want to talk about 3 keys, and I have literally about 17 minutes quickly. 3 keys to build a workplace that has civility, that unleashes OCBs, and also that has this culture of ambassadorship that we use online. I'm going to be nice and quick. Is that fair? Cool. The first one is cultivating positive relationship amongst each other. Just normal positive relationship. There's a study by a guy called Ed Dina and Martin Seligman who have argued that beyond the money, the reason people work, there comes a time where it's more than just the money. Of course, money matters, but it matters up to a certain point. Because, you know, when you earn like 3,000 rands per month, when you add 2,000 rands, it makes a huge difference because it means you can buy property for the first time and so on. But you know, when you add 2,000 rands to my salary, it's just like... I won't see it, you know what I mean? It's like... I'm joking. But the study has found that beyond a certain threshold, there are certain things that matter even more. And those things include positive relationships. And it's supported by what they call the longest longitudinal study of adult development, where they did this one at Harvard, where they followed people for 8 years. And they wanted to see at which point of their lives were they the most authentically happy and content. And they followed them for 8 years. Of course, there was a spike in their happiness when they got a promotion, but it corrected. There was a spike in their happiness when they got married, but it corrected even quicker. But the most sustainable trend in terms of their well-being was when they had 2 things: positive relationships outside of work and positive relationships at work. So we have to work hard to live those values. And I think that's one of the reasons we're here, to celebrate those who live the values. And it's about, and you know, let me do a bit of a test. Please humor me if you can. May you please raise your hand, those of you who believe you have a friend at work. That awkward moment where you are raising your hand and the person you thought was a friend is not raising. And now you feel like saying, "Oh, and a Satan." And I know the word, I think the phrase friend can be a little bit deeper, you know. But it's interesting. The first time I heard Gallup does a lot of work on employee engagement. The first time I saw that they have a question, they say, "Do you have a friend at work?" I was like, who needs friends at work? Just get in there, do your thing, and get out. But it turns out, if you have someone you consider a friend, it doesn't have to be too deep. But if you have someone you consider a friend, it predicts a few things about you. Number one, it predicts your level of engagement. It predicts the level of your well-being, your level of job satisfaction. The last one, for me, I didn't believe it. But it even predicts the level of life satisfaction you have. In other words, when you have a friend at work, even your life satisfaction score is better. And it's just about that ability to decompress certain things. That ability to go and say, "Hey, did you hear?" Hey! That's just healthy, man. It makes this thing nice and healthy. And I promise I won't be too long. You know, Google does this small little thing that is very, very nice. When you start at Google on your first day, before you start, they send an email to a few managers. They say, "These are the staff members that are starting on Monday. May you please allocate just 1 person per department to become part of their welcome committee." So by the time you walk in at Google, someone has seen your picture and so on, and you walk in and someone is like, "SP, where?" And I'm like, initially you think, no, they're wrong. And then again they say, and then they're like, "You, come here." And you're like, "Yeah, man, I'm famous." You know, it helps your lending even better. relationships are really good. They make work even better. A guy by the name of Robert Cialdini wanted to do a little bit better. They wanted to study whether the impact of positive relationship actually works on performance. And they did a series of tests. One of my favorite ones is where they tested a group of estate agents. So they went into these estate agents. On the first group, they said, when you get someone who wants to list their property, just say, oh, you want to list your property in Sandton, please hold on for Peter. On the second group, they say, just add a little bit of a small line and say, oh, you want to buy your house in Sandton? I'm going to put you to Peter, who has sold more, about 30% more houses in this area than anyone else. And they wanted to see whether that's going to increase the level of listings. And it turns out the second group had about 24% more listings than the first. That ability to just help your colleague, man. Just give your colleague a through pass. Just hoy that nice way. Like when you're introducing a colleague, let's say you're in a committee where you have the relationship, your colleague is coming to present the external stakeholders. You can't just introduce your colleague and say, yeah, Spiwe, talk. That ability to lend your colleague your own credibility. The ability to give a through pass to a colleague has an impact on performance. And also it raises civility at work. I won't forget the African Cup of Nations that we played in South Africa. There was a guy called Velimoto who didn't even play one game for Bafana Bafana, not even one. But that guy was leading all the chants, leading all the songs. When someone scored, he was the first one to celebrate, celebrating the colleagues more than the person who scored. And I think that's the kind of civility and the kind of values we want. I want to argue that even on social media, we need to amplify our colleagues, not just yourself. When was the last time you amplified a colleague's work? When was the last time you shared a colleague's publication? When was the last time you celebrated a student's achievement? When was the last time you promoted events, research, and initiatives aligned with NWU's vision? And I think that's how we bring real civility in the workplace. But also, even certain rituals that we have. When a colleague is like 1 minute late on a Teams meeting, and already it looks like they've murdered everybody, why can't we just be civil and say, because sometimes I was in another meeting, that meeting was running late, but you can tell that, man, this is not something I do every day. A little bit of civility would be nice. And of course, we can't delay all the time. All right, I'm going to move. I have 8 minutes. The second point is, when we want to unleash OCBs, we can use job crafting and meaning making. The idea of job crafting fascinates me. There's a lady called Kyla Maroney who won silver medal at the London Olympics in 2012. She looked sad, she looked grumpy, she won a silver medal. But the person who won number 3 was happier than her. And she was so excited and so lovely. It turns out this happiness thing is also an internal job, right? And we obviously there's a lot of studies that show that generally when you come number 2, you feel like you've missed gold. When you come number 3, you're like, it could have been worse, eh? But it's just also about your mental wellness, how you think about your job. There's a lot of studies from Amy Wizensky who's proven that if you view your job as some form of calling, you can craft your job and make yourself a little bit happier than you were. Create your own meaning. I was at another awards function recently, and there was this security guard who won something similar than like the OCB awards. And generally, in most companies, security guards are outsourced, but in this company, they were insourced. And this guy won a lot of awards about living the values and so on. A lot of awards. And so during the break, I asked him, dude, Kantiwena, what do you do? Why did you win so many awards? What inspires you so that we can also be inspired? He said something I'll never forget. He said, you know what, Spiwe? Generally, I don't understand this mission and vision and all of those things. The reason I show up, and he said it in isiZulu and translate it very quickly. He said, I show up the way I do. All I'm trying to do, which basically means all I'm here for is to make sure that my kids don't start where I've started. Someone like that has created a meaning for themselves. They show up very well not for the university, but because of what they've framed for themselves. And I want to ask each and every person, there are times when times are tough, when you don't feel very optimistic. What is your why? What is your meaning? What is your purpose? Why do you do what you do? When was the last time you reflected about even the privilege of having a job? Because sometimes there's a concept called hedonic treadmill, and I promise I'm about to close. There's a concept called hedonic treadmill that fascinates me. That just like a treadmill, generally, when you're running on a treadmill, man, we are running, but you are going nowhere, chief. You are still here with us. Humble yourself. Psychologists have often talked about the concept of the hedonic treadmill, that even ourselves, the problem about life is that we are always on a treadmill. We say to ourselves, I'll be happy when I get this. And when you get it, you shift the goalpost. You say, I'll be happy when I get this. I'll be happy when I get this. So we have a lot of people who have more, but they don't feel it. They don't have that subjective career success. You have more, but you don't feel it, and you feel more grumpier and so on. And the technical word for it is hedonic adaptation. It says we adapt to the good things in our lives and we no longer see them. We adapt to the good things in our lives and we no longer see them. Remember the first time you got your job offer? You were like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Ooh. Look at you, not you, not you. But we get used to the good things in our lives and we no longer see them. And the easiest way to help us with that is this idea of savoring, this idea of pausing and smelling the coffee, this idea of gratitude, of realizing that your life is not as bad as you think. Once you do, and I found this the wrong way, man. I was doing, I grew up in Soweto and in Orange Farm, and I was a grateful guy. I was a hilarious guy. I was a happy guy. One time, my wife tells me I've turned grumpy, and I didn't even know until the psychologist says, just go and write 3 things that you're grateful for 21 days. Come and see me. And I didn't even believe in this intervention. I was rolling my eyes. So I'm doing this exercise one time. I don't even believe in it. When you're doing something begrudgingly. Number 1, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my wife. Because that one you have to edit. No, she'll check the journal. But as I was doing it, I remembered something that had been driving me for 20 years. Wow. I actually live in the house of my dreams. It might not be the best, but it is what I've wanted. I have more, but I've become grumpy. And I want to invoke something in us to remind us, you may not be where you want to be, but you are not where you were. And sometimes you have to pause and self-congratulate and show you that you've done very well so far. And the last thing I want to say as I see it is that citizenship behaviors are also about being NWU ambassadors. So the idea that we represent our institution wherever we are. And I want to ask you a reflective question. If you were the only person someone knew from NWU, what would they think about the university? Because you carry that brand. And I want to argue that as we're talking about values, if you want other people to treat you with respect, let's respect each other. Being civil, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people think disrespect is intellectualism. That's not true. You can punch holes into my methodology and so on, but keep the relationship intact. And it is possible to do that. And I want to argue that the culture that we create matters, and each and every one of us contribute to that. Closing with this analogy, you have to ask yourself, as we are creating a culture of a civil workplace, one that lives the values, please ask yourself whether you are a guest speaker here at NWU or whether you are part of the conference host. That analogy makes sense to me because I'm often a guest speaker at other people's events like I am today, and I'm grateful for it. But I've also hosted my own conferences where I'm a host. And I can tell you, the mindset when you're a guest speaker and when you're a host is very, very different. When you're a guest speaker, you walk in about 15 minutes before your slot, you look like a guest speaker, you even smell like a guest speaker. No, there's a guest speaker sent. I don't know. Do you want a hug? Do you want a hug? When a guest speaker get in, people are like, yay! Yeah, baby. And then normally when you get into these events, there's congestion at the parking. People can't find parking. But guest speakers don't get involved in that nonsense. There's always someone who's going to say, Mr. Moyo, come closer. Don't worry about that one. He's just stuff. Come, sir, come. And then you come and park. And then normally there's these registration queues. People are registering at the conference. Guest speakers, you go to a holding room and you have sparkling water. And some nuts. And that's not peanuts, man. Like... And then you come, if you come here and your screen shuts down or the mic shuts down while you speak, as a guest speaker, you fold your arms, you know? There's always a team that's going to make sure. But you know, when you host a conference, it's funny because you are there 2 or 3 hours before everybody, sometimes a day before. On the day, even if you're wearing a suit, if there's congestion at the parking, you go and look and you send someone. If they are too slow, you do it yourself. You're like, come here, park, do this. Even if you're giving people dodgy signals, but this thing must move. If the registration queue is too long, you start another one and you like, come this side, register yourself. If the mic shuts down or the screen shuts down, as a host, you do not have the luxury of folding your arms. Even if you don't know how to fix sound, at least you can intimidate the sound people, you know? All you have to do is like, and then? And then they do something. But you do not have the luxury of doing nothing. And I find that sometimes when it comes to issues of cultures and values, everyone is like, what can we do? What can we say? It's the executives. It's the senior manager. It's the dean. It's the DVC. No, guys. It's not going to happen because the VC said so. Each and every one of us, you are not a guest speaker here, but you are part of the conference. If you don't like the culture, you fold your arms and you greet them first, and you respect them first, and you show them that you care first. Why? Because those who do not create a culture they want will have to endure the culture they get. Thank you so much.
Sipiwe, you've clearly never met a woman from the Northern Cape. The niece there will testify. They don't say, look at you, they say, futsek. But I think what's important that we can all take, that civility is not courtesy. Civility is responsibility. And I think we should be more intentional at the Northwest University of how we present and represent ourselves, both in person and digitally. Thank you so much. So I feel good tonight. Prof. Dale in front gave me a short. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are now moving over to what we are here for. But before we can do that, we need to just acknowledge the people who adjudicated these awards and who took meticulous time to go through each and every one of those nominations and chose the best winner. So whilst I am giving them a shout out, I'm asking our next performer, Jan Diesel, she's going to transform us, Monterey, into a new world again. So you can get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, as I acknowledge you, just wave your hands so that we can see each and everyone responsible for making tonight's selection. So the chairperson of the panel, Professor Linda Duplessis. Thank you, Prof. Professor Mpho Chaka. In absentia, we have Advocate Renee Koran. Then with us tonight, we have Mr. Sylvanus. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Ms. Shemaine Molosiwa. Mr. Musa Bizani. And then lastly on our adjudication panel, Ms. Nomsa Hlongwane. Thank you all so much for meticulously going through each and every one of those nominations. Now, as I said, Yandisa is ready. Yandisa and Tuli is ready to give themselves over to us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put a warm round of applause together for Yandisa.
A very good evening once again. We're going to give another soulful but short performance. This one is titled Giving My All, Giving Myself by Jennifer Hudson. I hope you guys enjoy. Like a brand new day, you and I were the face of fame. Ain't nobody got nothing to say, no. And from my feelings, I'll never have to hide away, oh no. 'Cause he's here, holding me tight, every day and night. Oh baby, can't you see? I don't wanna be without you anymore. I'm giving myself over to you. Said body and soul, I'm giving it over.
That was absolutely a beautiful rendition of our NW talent. I think if I was at Idols, I was gonna say, whoosh! It deserved just that. I think to kick off, we'll start. I don't know if how many of you guys know that last year we launched the word create as a value. And now this year, we welcome Mr. Melton to give us about severity in the workplace, a role overview of the word. Severity in the workplace.
Okay. Thank you once again, MC. What more can I say after Mr. Sipio Moyo? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, last year we launched Create, and this year, because we are moving in action, we are now launching civility at the workplace. And we would like to welcome the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Bismarck Sobeka, to come in front so that we can unveil the civility in the workplace campaign. We are going to have these banners erected at all our campuses at prominent places. Ms. Kenosi, DVC, Professor Lindiwe, you can also join. Professor Mala, Prof. Jeffrey, you can also join the VC as well as Professor Balia. Thank you.
Come on! Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we really applaud the official launch of the new value at the Northwest University. Civility matters, civility at the workplace. Let's give it a round of applause. As we continue to honor our recipients of the evening, it's very important to welcome the man behind everything, the forefront, the first person of the university. And I think it's great to acknowledge the fact that the institution is carried by his expectations of greatness and excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome onto the stage the Principal and Vice Chancellor of the Northwest University, Prof. Bismarck Jobeka, as he gives the message of congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, too. So, again, I'm like Mr. Milton here, trying to find my voice after Mr. Moyo has spoken. I must say that we were sitting there listening to you, Mhlegas, and we feel quite strongly that the university must invite you again. And maybe I must declare that our registrar is not here, but would like to have, such a talk, maybe on a different topic, when our whole Senate is there and our council. Because there you are talking to what the comrades call leadership. So, thank you very much for a very, very inspiring talk. It's amazing that, we always thought, what's his name again, Mr. What's his name? The world-renowned motivational speaker. What's his name? You should know him. Tembe Gwayo, yes. We always thought, he's the best thing that has ever happened to this country. I can assure you today that I have a different view. So thank you very much for, helping us to recognize and realize that South Africa is a talented country, especially after yesterday. So yesterday we had the open day in Potchefstroom campus. And I made my speech there and I said everybody will be glued to the TV tonight watching our president presenting his credentials to Mr. Trump. But you see, why I think I must talk about that a little bit, just 1 minute. There is something that the president demonstrated there, Mr. Milton, and that is civility. What you've just shown us here is exactly what we've seen yesterday in the face of serious adversity. He displayed just pure civility. And this is something we can all learn and apply, as Mr. Moyo said, in our workplace. But let me not try to repeat what you said. I grew up in a church where Mfundisi would come and assign a preacher for the day. And the preacher will preach, and we were young kids, getting bored, we want to go play, and the preacher will preach. And at the end, the Mfundisi will come and say, I don't want to repeat what Mr. So-and-so has said. All I want to do is to acknowledge And then he goes on his own sermon. So I'm not going to do that today. But colleagues in management, senior management committee members that are here, staff of the university, both academic and support staff, our student leaders, I see the president of the SRC is here, and his team, our esteemed guests and guest speaker, Mhlekazi Moyo, the man from Soweto. I can assure you, my friend, the Soweto girls would not like that representation. They may have been like that many years before, many years ago, not today. But as the saying goes, selfless service is not about applause. It is about impact. It does not wait for instructions. It simply shows up again and again with a heart, humility, and hustle, close quote. What a beautiful event to celebrate the gold standard of humanity without our beloved Northwest University. Tonight, we're not only just handing out awards, but we are handing out gratitude, pride, and a few bragging rights, to be honest. We are here to honor those amongst us who have made kindness a strategy, who have turned going the extra mile into an art form, and who believe that doing good is not just an act, but a culture. Some of you uplifted your teams, exactly what Mr. Moyo said, giving your teams soft landing. Quietly carrying the load when no one was watching. Others lent your voice, wit, and wisdom to tell the NWU story to the world, to the radio waves, to newsprint, and social media, all sparkling a little brighter thanks to you. And then there are those heroes who never say, that is not my job. Instead, they ask, how can I help? That, colleagues, is organizational citizen behavior, or what would be called being extraordinary on an ordinary day. Scholars described it as discretionary effort, the kind that exceeds the job description. But here at the Northwest University, we know it as Ubuntu in action, and that na kimotu kaba tubaba ngwendi ngumtu ngabanye abantu. We rise by lifting others. To our brilliant staff, academic giants and operational wizards, you have kept our ship not just afloat, but thriving. Whether through teamwork, innovation, mentorship, or sheer patience during that quick Teams meeting that lasted an hour, we've all been there. You are there, you are the architects of this university's soul. To our students, you continue to show us that leadership is not about age or titles. You bring energy, vibrancy, creativity, passion, and a very healthy dose of social media sass. From peer mentorship and campus initiatives to blazing trails online, your fingerprints are on every success we celebrate. And while we recognize all this brilliance, we do so with a wink and a warning. OCB is beautiful, but it should never be exploited. As scholars like Van Dyne and Ellis always remind us, when citizenship becomes job creep, we risk burning out the very stars we depend on. So tonight, We don't only chair, we recommit. We recommit to a culture that sees you, values you, and ensures that your selfless service does not come at a personal cost. Allow me to be candid. The Northwest University does not run on policy alone. It runs on people. People like you. Individuals who do not merely articulate our values, but embody them. Those who do not wait for change, they are the change. As we navigate the realignment implementation process and the change management thereof, we need more dedicated change agents like you across all our business units, both in support and the academic environment to help realize our institutional goals. So to all honorees, take this moment in, bask in it, tell your family, post it online. You've earned it. We're proud of you. We brag about you. You make us believe in something bigger than just outputs and KPIs. You make the Northwest Way not a slogan, but a heartbeat. To each of you, thank you for your dedication, your drive, and your contagious optimism. This is your time. This is your standing ovation, and yes, this is a shamelessly deserved moment in the spotlight. Congratulations to you. Long live Citizenship. Long live the Northwest University. Long live the spirit of selfless excellence. I thank you. I salute you. I celebrate you proudly and endlessly. But always, as you celebrate, remember it all starts here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. I think it's important to note that we have to thank you that you reminded us why we continue to strive for excellence, not only as individuals, but as a committed Northwest University community to both our integrity, our innovation, and our impact. Thank you, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the highlight of the evening of why we are here tonight. I think to assist me handing out tonight's awards, I would like to welcome onto stage Mr. Louis Jacobs and Ms. Shemaine Molosiwa. Can they join me quickly? So we are not going to waste any time, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading straight into the first award for the evening. The first award that we are going to hand out tonight is the Social Media Personality Award. Now, the Social Media Personality Award is awarded for exceptional contributions towards the university's public reputation focused on social media. This includes social media coverage related to teaching and learning, research and innovation, community engagement, student life, and other university support functions. Now, for this award category, we have 2 recipients, and each recipient will walk away with a cash prize of 10,000 Rand. Louis, are we ready for them? Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first staff recipient for the Social Media Award goes to, before I say that, to our awardees. When you come on stage and you receive your award, remember to walk out the door There will be Renee and Marika outside to assist you to take pictures and to have a short video interview. So you'll receive your award, exit the stage, exit the hall, and on the outside in the foyer, you will be able to engage with them. Back to the drama. Our first recipient for the Social Media Award personality goes to Professor Kapil Muti. Professor Kapil has distinguished himself in the use of LinkedIn in generating high-quality content related to his expertise in chemical and mineral engineering. During 2024, he authored over 25 LinkedIn article posts covering industry engagements, research findings, and academic insights, with several of those posts, ladies and gentlemen, achieving engagement rates of more than 1,000 impressions per post. Professor Kapil. Our next recipient is our student recipient for the Social Media Personality, and this award goes to Okutle Mlamza. Okutle creates social media content that is authentic, relatable, and deeply engaging to the student community of the Northwest University. Tonight, through social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, she is able to influence and inspire others using her own originality. Okutle. On to the second award for the evening. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have two recipients for this award, and this award goes to two staff members. Now, the next award is our Traditional Media Personality. The Traditional Media Personality Award is awarded for exceptional contributions towards the university's public reputation focused on traditional media. This includes traditional media coverage related to teaching and learning, research and innovation, community engagement, student life, and other university support functions. Again, each recipient of this award will receive a 10,000 Rand cash prize. The first recipient of this award goes to Professor Pierre-André Viviers. Professor Pierre-André Viviers, a specialist in events marketing, consumer purchase behavior, has made significant contributions to the Potchefstroom campus art scene over the past 2 decades, focusing on theater and drama productions. He annually crafts original plays for the student residences and dedicates considerable time and energy to directing them as well. With set productions frequently included to the National Arts Festival like Art Club. And I can say that I was one of those who was in a play of his. Thank you so much. The next staff recipient for this award in Traditional Media Personality goes to Prof. Lebo Gafane Matemane. Professor Gafane Matemane has made strides by consistently showcasing the Northwest University values in excellence in research and innovation, mentorship of emerging scientists, and community impact on the international and local stages. Her contributions included current global issues around hypertension and cardiovascular diseases and the need for mentoring to grow careers of emerging scientists. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason, to kick off the award ceremony in a very hyped up way. To continue with the award ceremony, the next category is the exceptional media coverage. The award is awarded for work and contribution that receives intensive coverage in traditional media platforms. The media coverage must be generated and show the upswing in media exposure during a limited time, related to their work and contribution to the Northwest University community. The grand prize for this award is 10,000 Rand, and we have one staff member to receive the award. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's give a congratulations to Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams was appointed as an official Northwest University LinkedIn ambassador, a distinction that reflects his continuous dedication to the media platform. Through carefully crafted content, he has been able to reach over 21,000 unique users in LinkedIn only in 2024. Thank you and congratulations. Yeah. For the next, thank you very much, Mr. Louis and Ms. Mahopo. For the next category of awards, we'll invite onto the stage Mr. Melton and Mr. Sylvanus. The next category of awards is Social Responsibility and Awareness Advocate. The award is awarded to a staff member and/or student for exceptional contribution to the university-related social rights, responsibility, and awareness, including gender-based violence, social rights, disability rights, and substance abuse and mental health. The recipients of this award received a whopping 10,000 Rand. And at this category, we have only one staff recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate Professor Senet Brits. In 2024, Professor Brits led a campaign distributing face cloths with a heart on them. That was loved and embodied by both our students and staff members from the consumer science and residents of old age homes. Her distinction to social responsibility extends to her involvement in a project during the Breastfeeding Awareness Week, where she and her team provided mothers with basic necessities and multilingual cards to help them understand their babies and their needs. Congratulations, Prof.
Thank you so much for that, Tuso. I was so glad that my mic was off when I was at the back because I was simply the best thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award for this evening is the Diversity and Transformation Advocate Award. Now, the Diversity and Transformation Advocate Award is awarded to a staff member and or a student who have made exceptional contributions to the university related to transformation and diversity concepts and initiatives. This can include work related to race, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, cultural perspectives, or multilingualism. For this award, we have one staff recipient, and this staff recipient will receive a cash prize of 10,000 Rand. The staff recipient for this award is Prof. Boitumelo Musinyane. Prof. Musinyane plays a critical role through his research focus on indigenous knowledge systems and how it must inform decolonization, curriculum transformation, and law. He consistently advocates for the use of IKS and the inclusion of customary law of traditional communities within society. The impact of his advocacy is demonstrated through his use of Setswana and the linkages he established between languages, law, and culture. Congratulations, Prof. Again, Mr. Sylvanus and Mr. Milton, thank you so much for joining us. To assist me in handing out the next set of awards, allow me to welcome Prof. Mpo Chaka and Yalen Lekalakala. Just watch out. So for the next award, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 recipients. We have 3 staff recipients and 1 student recipient. The next award is the NWU Silver Wings Award. Now, the NWU Silver Wings Award is a recognition awarded to staff members and students of the university who have embodied the spirit and the character of the NWU, its culture, and its identity in the past year. Again, each of the recipients will receive, you are too many now, so we are only cutting it. Each will receive 5,000 Rand cash prize. The first staff recipient of the NWU Silver Wings Award, and I call her the face of the Northwest University. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Angeline Morokwane. Angeline Morokwane serves as a communication specialist at the Northwest University. She's involved in Women in Leadership initiatives. As an ambassador, Angeline also regularly does the voiceovers for various projects, amongst the NWU News features that gets posted each week on the Northwest University website and media platforms such as the NWU Daily Comms. Please read the Daily Comms now. Her ability to network and negotiate effectively has led to the successful collaboration with external organizations, bringing added value to the Northwest University's academic ecosystem. Well done, Angie. What's up, mate? The next recipient for this award, and I believe that someone will receive this. Oh, perfect. The next recipient, ladies and gentlemen, of the NWU Silver Wings Award goes to Dr. Kaziel Klink. Dr. Klink's ability to balance rigorous academic responsibilities with her unwavering commitment to community service is truly inspiring. As a trendsetter in community engagement, she has initiated programs that bridge academia with industry, ensuring that students gain practical insights alongside theoretical knowledge. Her ability to network and negotiate effectively has led to the successful collaborations with external organizations, bringing added value to the Northwest University's academic ecosystem. Well done, Doctor. Then the last staff recipient for the NWU Silver Wings Award goes to Rachel Masemola. As one of the founding members, she has played a pivotal role in establishing and nurturing this staff sport club on the Potchefstroom campus. Despite the demands of her professional responsibilities, Rachel dedicates her time and energy to the committee with remarkable diligence. During the more than 5 years, she has been a committed volunteer and motivated other staff to focus on their well-being. Well done. The last recipient, ladies and gentlemen, of the NWU Silver Wings Award goes to a student. And the recipient for this award is Tendo Lucky Nemavunda. Lucky's social media efforts have significantly contributed to the university's online presence and engagement. He possesses the ability to reach a wide audience, generate meaningful interactions, and positively impact the university community. They also, when we do something in the office, say, "Wait, Mr. Jason, the camera eats first." So, well done, Lucky.
We are literally at the peak of the awards. And the next category of awards is Ambassador of the Year. This award is awarded to a recipient of one of the awards already received at the Northwest University OCB Recognition Awards. This award is regarded as an overall award, awarded to both staff and or student. The recipient is just addition on top of what they've already received as a true ambassador of the Northwest University. Ladies and gentlemen, grand tables. The recipients of this award is two of our staff members, Dr. Williams and Dr. Clank. We can just wait a bit. Dr. Clunk is still in an interview. There we go. Congratulations. Just to brief her, you have won, additional to what you already have, the Ambassador of the Year at the Northwest University. Congratulations for that. And the grand prize of this award is 10,000 Rand. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you as well. Yeah. Thank you very much, Prof.
So us being both on stage is an indication that we are nearing the pinnacle of tonight's awards.
The cream of the crop.
Right? Ladies and gentlemen, the final award for the evening is called the Vice Chancellor's Award. Now, the NWU Vice Chancellor's Award is a discretionary award awarded by the Vice Chancellor himself to a senior member of staff who, through their work and involvement in the university, has made exceptional contribution towards the achievement of the NWU strategy and values. The Vice Chancellor, upon considering the impact and the value of the work of the two colleagues, concluded that both will be recipients tonight. And both of tonight's recipients, ladies and gentlemen, will each receive a cash prize of 15,000 Rand. Prof, you are giving our bonuses away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will first read the CVs of both these recipients. Can we have a small bit lower on the sound, please? Both CVs of these recipients before announcing them. So the first recipient of this award has gained national and international recognition as a leading authority on antimicrobial resistance in freshwater resources. As a professor in microbiology, he received various accolades throughout the years. His research interests lie in aquatic biology, water, sanitation, health, and energy. For more than 2 decades, he has diligently worked on tracking potential disease-causing microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, viruses, lurking in our water resources.
The second recipient of the award has made an exceptional contribution to the Mahikeng campus. His focus and dedication to the student community is evident through his commitment and supporting the development of both students and student leaders. It was under his leadership that the student life on the campus has grown and has shown to drive forward the Northwest University strategy and objectivity in creating well-rounded students.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first recipient of the NWU Vice Chancellor's Award goes to Professor Carlos Besaidenhout.
And the second is Mr. Jim Mulauzi.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are drawing close to the end of the evening, I want to implore you all again that we should remember civility is not a courtesy, but a responsibility.
As we prepare for the closure of the evening, we'll ask on stage, on behalf of Professor Chalufu Sibusiso, Mr. Milton, to give us a speech of closure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. I think what you have witnessed today is not an event, but it's a movement. And to all our students and staff, the winners, I just want you to remind all of you about what Maya Angelou said. She said, can you repeat that? People will never forget how you made them feel. So we feel inspired by you. Well done once again. I would like to start off by thanking the VC and Principal, Professor Bismarck Chobeka. Also to thank the DVC Teaching and Learning Professor Lindiwe. I just said it today, Prof. Linda. Mrs. Renee Kenosi, our Deputy Chair of Council, Professor Dario Balia, Professor Jeffrey Mpahele, Professor Mala Sink, the esteemed mentor. And also to thank Mr. Clement Manoko in absentia. Why? Because this movement that you are seeing today is a joint responsibility between corporate relations and marketing, student life, and people and culture. So I would also like to extend my hearty thanks to Professor Sibusiso Chalufu as well. Without the cooperation of all these three divisions, we would not be where we are today. So thank you once again. And most importantly, to also thank the dream team, my team from People and Culture, for putting such a wonderful event. I thank you. There are no better words to describe our guest speaker, Mr. Sipiwe Moyo. I think the VC has already made it clear that you are going to be invited again to Northwest University. Thank you once again. I thank you, all of you, for gracing this important occasion. As we have already indicated, this is a movement. Let's keep this movement alive. And remember, civility is not only about respect, but civility is a responsibility. Can we embrace civility starting today? I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Milton. As we go to the end of the evening, you see the tablet becomes a paper now. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also So before we say our final goodbyes, ladies and gentlemen, sit back. We've heard a lot of people got money now. Now it's time for us to relax as well. So we have, right? We have a final performance by our beautiful Northwest University student, and she